All right, I'm live again. So as I was doing waxing poetic about Necromunda for about the last 2 hours, lo and behold, the new Hero Quest reveal went live. So you can see that I've pulled up the Hero Quest Twitter page here, and I thought I would watch this, and I'll probably get dinged for some sort of copyright infringement thing. But I'm just going to put this on, and you and I'm going to put this on full screen, and I'm going to watch this with you. I have watched this once previously, because I literally watched it as soon as I ended my last stream, because all of a sudden there was all this scuttlebutt in the world about New Hero Quest, so I said, okay, well, I'll go watch it. Watched it once, then decided, hey, you know what? Why not watch it with you guys? So here we go. And then in another aspect of full disclosure, I've never played Hero Quest. I've played Space Crusade. I've played Advanced Space Crusade. I've played Warhammer Quest. I've never played Hero Quest. I've never played Advanced Hero Quest. So and a lot of people are like, you've never played Hero Quest, but that's the game that everyone got into. I'm like, no, I didn't play Hero Quest. I got into Warhammer pretty much from just like painting miniatures for D&D. I went straight to Warhammer. So I skipped over all these like ancillary games. They were all beneath me because I played Warhammer. So let's let's watch this reveal trailer together, and I'll give you my thoughts on it. As someone who, I know the game. I've not played it. I understand the concept of the game. I understand what the game is, what it was meant to be, what it meant to people, but I've not played it, so here we go. Here's the trailer. And I'll probably get in trouble for whatever, but let's see. Oh, now it's loading. Sure. This is the technical... Why is this not loading? Hello, computer. You're just gonna nail me with? Is this maybe something to do with my ability to stream? You know what? Whatever. We'll go to the Hasbro website, and we'll look at it there. Let's pull this up to make sure that I'm... So here is the product. So the cover, and then I guess once the... I don't know why this isn't loading. We'll come back to it. So this is obviously based on the Les Edward cover, but it is a more modern look. It has a real feel of I don't want to say like an Asmodee kind of game, but it definitely, you can see that this is board game art. This is what the quintessential board game artwork is, and it's based exactly on the Les Edwards piece. I was going to see if I had my copy of the Les Edwards Blood and Iron art book here, but I don't. It's on my shelf back there. I should go grab it. And then here are the contents. So the Game Master screen is the same. The board looks incredibly similar. And I'm glad that it's a board. And I think there was some fear. Some people thought it might be tiles. And I'm like, I don't think they're going to do tiles, because I think what they want to do is they want to reprint Hero Quest. But just do it with a modern look. So there's the new... Game Master screen with the new gargoyle on it, and we got some goblins, and we've got whatever the lich guy is over here, and we've got some orcs, and I guess instead of Famir we have fish people. So yeah, there's a fish person right there. So I guess that's instead of having Famir. And then we've got the barbarian. And I don't want to get too derivative and step on the bard's feet here, because I'm sure he's going to make a far superior video to the one the one I am currently employed in doing. It looks like a barbarian. It's Conan. I mean, that is the Cimmerian. That is the barbarian trope. The dwarf looks like a dwarf. Very, I want to say very World of Warcrafty kind of dwarf. But if you know that the Warcraft aesthetic was basically lifted from the Games Workshop aesthetic in a lot of ways. And you can fight me on that if you think otherwise. And the bard was right. The elf is a female, but she is both the master of both magic and the sword. So no bow. I bet there's a bow model somewhere. But she has 3 magic spells, all relating to one natural element. So she has Earth, Wind, and Fire. The band, Boogie Wonderland. And the wizard. So the wizard is a human wizard, which was what we got before, and he definitely looks like a wizard. Um, so yeah, so the classes are the same. You basically have the same 4 characters. They didn't really change them up in any ways. People looking at this can tell me how much different this is in terms of the rules. Like I said, I haven't played Hero Quest. Um, it looks the same to me: attack dice, defense dice, starting points, body. But I know that it uses movement, so red dice. So it uses custom dice mechanics, so that'll be different. But it's entirely possible that those are mechanics that are just carried over from, they have their equivalency in the numbers. And what we got here, there's the old potion of healing, treasure. We got equipment, artifacts, treasure. Yep. So the art aesthetic is very much different. More board gamey. Obviously, it's modernized. And we got alternate models. What is this? Oh, we have a female barbarian, a female dwarf, a female wizard, and a male elf. Well, that's really cool. So we get these are bonus heroes. So these come in the box. So essentially, you can just be whatever you want to be and fit somewhere in between there. That's cool. You kind of had to think that was coming. So here we have spells: air spells, dread spells, fire spells, water spells, earth spells. And then what else we got? And we're back to the box cover. So let's go back and see if I can watch this video now. And you and I can watch it together if I can get it to load. Why is it not loading? Is it because it knows that I'm streaming? Is that something that happens on the internet that I'm unaware of? Whoa! Look, it's infinite me's. Okay, so I don't know why this isn't loading, and maybe I've got to do something else. Maybe, you know what? I'll go to YouTube and I'll look for Hero Quest. Whoa! There's you get to see all my subscription feed garbage. Oh look, that's me. Oh, I could watch myself watching myself watch myself. But I'm just gonna type in Hero Quest here because we'll get away from that. No, so we got the bard, we got the reveal, we got me. So history of okay. So where is this Hero Quest video? I'm just going to go back here. Try not to reveal too many of my desktop secrets. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I can't watch the video. I don't know why. Let's go back to the Hero Quest website, and maybe I can watch the video here.
Heed well my words.
Whoa,
I am
okay.
Mentor, guardian of
Mentor.
I come with great warnings.
He comes with great warnings.
Decades.
So we've got runes, which don't really look like any of the runes from Warhammer. So obviously right now we're not... these are not Dwarven runes. At least they're not Warhammer Dwarven runes. Who knows what this could be, but let's take a look here.
Just as darkness follows light, shadows have a way.
So we got a mummy.
Many centuries ago, Zargon was
Zargon?
my apprentice.
Is Zargon the guy from... I guess Zargon's the guy from Hero Quest. Probably the same guy, the skeleton guy, the Lich. That makes sense, I guess.
He worked hard and learned quickly.
So again, yeah, this is not chaos. This is not stuff from the realm of chaos. We're not looking at a Tzeentch book here. We're looking at something that they've obviously that Hasbro and Avalon Hill have obviously worked together to design and create something.
Devoured him.
And it's not based on any other thing, so it's not like, because Hasbro owns Magic the Gathering and Hasbro owns Dungeons and Dragons, so they could have made Hero Quest either of those, right? But obviously they're making it its own IP, which is wise because it's what it should be. The game has enough, there's enough reverence for the game out there that it should be its own thing. And Hero Quest was never really all that Warhammer. It was Warhammer because Games Workshop sculpted the miniatures for it, or Citadel sculpted the miniatures for it. It was published by Milton Bradley, who Hasbro bought in '85. So to say that this game has gone through other people's hands of ownership, I don't know who owns it, but at the end of the day, Hasbro owns it because Hasbro owns everything. And what Hasbro doesn't own, Disney owns. What they don't own, I guess Time Warner owns. And what they don't own,
to learn the ancient and dangerous secrets of dread magic.
Dread magic. So not chaos magic. Dread magic. Let's.
He learned these secrets. He fled. When I found him.
And who's this guy? So this guy looks like a Chaos Warrior. From the back, that totally looks like a Chaos Warrior. We got a fur cloak, big shoulder pads with spikes, and a horned helmet. So from the back, that's a Chaos Warrior.
pledged his allegiance to the dread forces of evil.
The dread forces of evil. So not the ruinous powers, not the forces of chaos, the dread forces of evil.
Using magic as a shortcut to unlimited power. After a lengthy battle,
You know what? Magic is a good shortcut to unlimited power. I can attest for that personally.
he retreated to the northern dread wastes.
The Northern Dread Wastes? What? What? The Northern Red... Where are those? Are those near Norsica? Just hang a Louis when you get to Kislev and just keep walking north and you'll be in the Northern Dread Wastes? Is that where we're going? Wow, I can't wait to see these Northern Dread Wastes.
There he strengthened his forces and once again prepares for war.
Preparing for war is good. He who wants peace must prepare for war. Yada, yada, yada.
Zargon has returned.
Zargon has returned. I wanted that on a t-shirt. Zargon has returned.
But light always follows darkness. And the
Forces of order, forces of light. So in Warhammer Fantasy Battle, you had the roleplay book would be a better source for this information. But you used to have like gods of light and gods of chaos, and the gods of light and the gods of chaos fought. The gods of light were like Ulrich. Like Sigmar was sort of part of that gods of light thing. It's obviously Age of Sigmar has taken that to an extreme and made you literally have like order, chaos, destruction, and death, and those like your four vying superpowers. And the gods of chaos exist within there, and it's all very high fantasy at that point in Age of Sigmar, whereas Warhammer is much more low fantasy. And it looks like this setting is trying to be somewhere in there. I don't know. It's a very typical generic fantasy setting to have, you know, the forces of evil being sort of this metaphysical alignment of powers and stuff. But I love the I gotta hear that guy. The Northern Dread Wastes, or the Dread Northern Wastes.
Hold the key to save.
Okay, so there's the dwarf. He looks like he's got a bit of a dwarven rune on him. So Conan. I'm not going to call him Conan, but he's Conan. Come on. The wizard is, you know.
The dwarf, resilient fighter.
So it's the same four classes, as we've said.
The elf.
And the bard was right. They made the elf female, because of course you would. And she's got those big, long, pointy elf ears, those knife ears that I'm not really a fan of. That's something that Western fantasy has adopted from the Japanese anime interpretation of Western fantasy. So if you want to see, like, probably the first time you see ears like that, Record of Lotus War would be the anime to watch, and that came out late 80s, early 90s. I don't know when Record of Lotus War first came out, but I think that's the first time like you see like elves with like twang, like ears out the pointy ears, like Vulcan. Mr. Spock, your ears, they're way too pointy.
And magic. Your quest is to put an end to Zargon's reign of evil once and for all. The quest is calling.
Custom dice, very cool. And then we get the first shot, so it looks like you get two regular D6 and then a whole bunch of these white dice, which are, I don't know what their facings are on them and what they mean, but it probably corresponds to like 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus. Gotta roll something special, right? And we got doors and we got furniture, and it's all plastic this time, so you're not building plastic furniture out, or you're not building furniture out of cardstock and pieces. And we've got some tokens, and we've got a bunch of cards. So yeah, I mean, it looks like Hero Quest to me. The box cover is so similar to the Les Edwards piece. And excuse me while I clean my ear with my finger there. That's probably gross. The box art is so similar to the Les Edwards art in terms of its layout. Obviously, that was a conscious decision. And obviously, I hope Les Edward, got a few bucks for that or something, Because, you can tell that what they really want this to be is a new edition of the Hero Quest game, which leads me to believe that the mechanics in it will have as few changes as possible between the old edition and the new one. And if you know anything about Avalon Hill, they do this kind of stuff, and they're really good at it. They've been making like high-level board games for a long, long time. So I trust in their ability to do Hero Quest justice. Let's keep watching here and see what we get. The Barbarian, not Conan. And so we get our characters again. Very cool. So here, so you get 4 of these guys, and if these guys are not Chaos Warriors, then I don't know what to call them. This guy's obviously the Lich, or whatever that he was. I'm assuming he's a Lich of some kind. He looks like a Lich. If it walks like a Lich and it talks like a Lich, it must be a Lich. And what else we got? So here we go. We got some undead. So we got some. You get 2 mummies. You get 2 of these little zombie dudes, and you get 4 of these little skeletons with scythes. Very cool. And what else do we get? Orcs. Oh yeah. So we get. You get 2 female orcs with big choppas. You get 2 male orcs with big choppas. You get 2 female orcs with big maces, and 2 male orcs with big axes. So to me, these orcs look like the more modern interpretation, what sort of World of Warcraft orcs became. Yeah, so orcs, not my orcs, definitely not my orcs. If you want to know what my orcs are, you can just go to eternalchronicles.ca and see what I consider orcs. I have some orcs like this that were published by a company that did a Kickstarter that I just thought were cool because I like orcs. But again, this is not what I think of when I think of orcs. And I definitely, I don't even see orcs having genders, but obviously in HeroQuest they do, and that's cool. They're nice models. If I get this game, I'll paint it. Maybe. I'm not super prolific in getting like an entire board game done. I've had Warhammer Quest Blackstone Fortress for about a year now, and I haven't painted a single model in it. So, oh, and these goblins, these are like Pathfinder goblins. These are totally like those giant. I mean, not that goblins don't have giant heads, but the first thing that struck me when I look at these is these look like Pathfinder goblins. So that would be, I wish I could remember the artist's name, but he's the one who did that sort of design. And obviously they're based on more modern interpretations of goblins, which come from the Citadel interpretation of goblins, because if there's 2 guys that have had a huge impact on what goblins look like, it's the 2 main sculptors that they had sculpting orcs and goblins back in the 80s and 90s. So that would be Kev Adams to start, and then Brian Nelson to carry that on. But these, as soon as I saw these, I was like, oh, Pathfinder, weird. And you've lost me again because my phone just started ringing again. So I really have to disconnect this. So sorry. I really have to disconnect my phone from the phone I'm using as a webcam, but for some reason it's got to be tied to my account in order for me to use this app. So when my phone rings, so I should just turn my phone off while I do this. And yeah. So here we go. Here's furniture.
Hero Quest. The quest is calling.
It's cool. I don't know what Pulse is. I guess this is Hasbro's new imprint for something. It may be that, I wonder if Pulse is like a digital platform that they will use for running the Game Master in HeroQuest. Because old HeroQuest, you needed a Game Master. You needed someone to basically take the role of the Game Master. A lot of modern games will have an app that runs the game. Mansions of Madness, which is a FFG Cthulhu horror game, was I think one of the first to really come out with like the app that runs the baddies. And apparently it works so well that they then adapted it to Star Wars, not Star Wars Legion, but Imperial Assault, which was the previous board miniature game, which was basically like Descent. And I think even Descent they may have. So I wonder if Pulse, I don't know, designed by HasLab, established 2018, so that's a new thing. So I wonder if that Heroic 99 or Mythic 149 plus applicable taxes, additionals. Okay, so then there's 2 versions of it. So I guess we can go back up and look at what this means. So the Heroic tier, what do you get in the Heroic tier? So this is Oh, so Hasbro Pulse is Kickstarter for Hasbro. Oh, okay then. So it's not an app. I bet there's going to be an app for this thing because we saw, I think that was the speculation, was that we saw something about an ESRB rating for the game, which means that it's probably got an app tied to it. But this is, I had no idea. And I've been staring at this page and I didn't even look over at the stuff for the funding. So in 45 days, you can either get the heroic tier or the mythic tier. I don't know what the difference is. I guess I would have to not available to ship to Quebec. You know, there's something wrong with Quebec. As a Canadian, every time I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Quebec, just because they're the complicated rules and laws and stuff in that province. There's things that just are never open to people in Quebec. So if you're Canadian, you understand kind of the Quebec joke, and a lot of it has to do with language laws and the fact that this box is going to be printed in English, and when they print a French version, then you can sell the French version in Quebec because Quebec has very strict laws for those of you who live elsewhere in the world, to protect their culture, and that's fine because if you live in Quebec and that's what you like, and if you didn't, you could move out of Quebec. Okay, so here we go. Heroic tier, view. Excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. I didn't unmute. Oh, see, I don't know. Maybe you guys heard my sneeze, and then I muted, and well, that's what happens when you're live, right? So what was I doing? I was talking about these because after my sneeze, and I went through these, and I was you guys are obviously hearing me go like this, and there goes my phone again. So I'm just gonna kill the stream because obviously there are things going on in my life that need my attention. So I will talk to you all later, and let's